I'm so honored to have been selected as a 2023 Rokai Lecture Award recipient and to have the opportunity to present to you. I'm going to speak to you about the power of you, unleashing the possible. As the U.S. population continues to grow, diversify, and age, and as healthcare in the United States is ever evolving, healthcare professionals will face greater demands and challenges. Some of these demands and challenges include providing cost-effective care, preventing the overuse, underuse, or misuse of medications, eliminating the abundance of medical and medication errors, and promoting access to healthcare for all in a society where many obstacles exist. As you are confronted with these demands and challenges, I don't want you to become paralyzed, but instead become motivated by the many possibilities and opportunities that are ahead of you. As I reflect on every successful person that I've met, they share some overlapping traits regardless of their backgrounds or achievements. They all had the courage to think, to dream, and act on possibilities. They didn't stop because others believed something was impossible. They made the impossible possible. I submit to you today that you and we are among those successful people who overcame challenges and circumstances and turned what many thought was impossible into possible. 4 decades ago, who would have believed in the possibility that we would have a handheld device that would serve as a telephone, an electronic mail system, a camera, as well as a map, among many other functions? Just think, where would we be without our smartphones? Within my own lifetime, we have witnessed the evolution of technology that my grandparents could never have imagined. And this evolution is due to those innovators who actually pursued the notion of making the impossible possible. Many of you would say, my own story is one of impossible possibilities. Neither of my parents graduated from high school, and their combined salaries never exceeded $20,000 a year. And yet, they worked every day to provide a stable life and a home for our family. Despite living in a town in New York where the high school graduation rate was less than 30%, my parents, they were adamant in their dream that I would graduate not just from high school, but also from college. While growing up, they often reminded me of the adage, it's not how you start that's important, but how you finish. So I encourage you to make the impossible possible, and to dwell in the opportunities, and to dwell in the possibilities. Remember, the only limits you have on what you can do, have, or be are the limits you choose to have on your own potential. I challenge you to think big about your future, to think possible. Be agents of change. Promote changes and opportunities that make the world a better place. Promote changes and opportunities that improve healthcare, public health, and the well-being of everyone. And as we progress on the continuum of our development as leaders, we should always remember to practice. Practice passion. Nelson Mandela once said, there is no passion to be found playing small. in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Steve Jobs echoed that sentiment when he said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know it when you find it." Even when it feels like the world is against you, you have to practice resilience. According to the American Psychological Association, resilience is the ability to successfully adapt to challenging life circumstances. It makes the impossible possible. In his book, The 5 Graces of Life in Leadership, the author emphasizes that resilience is the act of being relentlessly hopeful, of being willing to fail, learning from failure, and trying again because you are dwelling in the possibility. That perseverance is an important aspect of resilience, to keep going in the face of adversity. Remember, nothing is impossible. The word itself says, "I'm possible." No matter the obstacles we face or the challenges ahead, there's always a way forward. We do indeed make our path as we walk it. So what is that goal driving us forward? What are we walking toward on that path? To know this, we must practice aspiration. What do you hope to achieve? What is it that you are aspiring to accomplish or become? Having aspiration is having the belief that we can make a difference, that we can make tomorrow better than today. This belief is fundamental to being a healthcare professional. We must aspire to make positive changes that will benefit patients and the communities that we serve. One of my aspirations is to eliminate what Dr. King referred to as injustice in healthcare. Those health disparities that devastate the lives of so many underserved populations. I strive toward this goal by working to improve access to healthcare as well as access to education, as we need new generations of healthcare professionals to carry out the work of eliminating disparities and improving care for all. Another aspiration that we as leaders share is the aspiration to inspire others. I'm not sure if there's anything more rewarding than knowing you inspired someone to go out and to do good in the world. And how do we inspire? By being our most authentic selves, by being passionate, and by being resilient, as well as by caring. So practice care and compassion. As healthcare professionals and leaders, I believe it is our mandate to offer care and compassion to others. It costs very little to be caring and compassion. It costs very little to be compassionate. And the rewards are boundless as you build relationships and trust. Practice trust. We earn trust, not only by caring, but by being honest and transparent, and by practicing what we preach. We offer trust by actively listening, by taking the hand that has been extended, and by allowing ourselves to follow the lead of others, by taking a leap of faith. Taking a leap of faith is also needed to practice innovation. What is innovation? Simply put, it is the act of creating something new. We tend to think of innovations in terms of new products, new or advancing technologies, but innovations can also be new ideas, policies, practices, services, and interventions. So if you have an idea, develop it. Go back to the drawing board if it doesn't work out the first time or the next time. Formulate a way to evaluate and disseminate your innovation. Be willing to advocate for yourself and your innovation. By doing this, you are also practicing courage. Courage is not having no fear, but rather knowing fear and moving beyond it. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you must do things you think you cannot do. Practicing courage is, in so many ways, not that different from practicing resilience and innovation. You have to be willing to move past the fear, to move past failure, to fail better, to keep striving forward, to keep taking risks, to keep living as your most authentic self, and to have respect and empathy for others living as their most authentic selves. So practice empathy, which is the ability to understand the feelings of others. Have you heard the expression, meet the patient where they are at? That is practicing empathy. Hearing another person and being with them where they are emotionally, rather than expecting them to be where you are at. In all of your interactions with others, try to practice empathy. I believe that by practicing practice every day, we can lead more fulfilling and purposeful lives. It is also important to participate in promoting goodwill in your families and in your communities. I'm not promising you that your journey of possibilities and success will always be easy. In fact, I can assure you that you will experience some difficult times. There will be stumbling blocks, but turn your wounds into wisdom and your stumbling blocks into stepping stones. In everything that you do, strive for excellence and make it part of your life's purpose. There's an old saying that people do not care how much you know until first they know how much you care. Use your power and build bridges to help others. You have the power to dwell in possibilities. You have the power to turn the impossible into possible and to unleash yourself to positively influence your communities, your families, your patients, and the world. Thank you again for allowing me to share this time with you. Take care.